We talked about marijuana in New York before, but now it's getting, um, well, there's more activity on it in New York right now, state of New York. As you know, Miss Nixon is going to be running against Cuomo for governor, and from day one when she filed, she said she was for marijuana. Now, that means having it legal throughout the state, where you could buy it or um, buy it, use it, whatever, just like you buy liquor. Now, the states that have it now legalized in California, Colorado, and Washington. In those states it's legal. You can walk in store, buy it, walk out. Now, they're working on it in New Jersey and Massachusetts right now to legalize it. And all of a sudden, Cuomo, who has been talking about this for 8 years, marijuana, and really has done nothing. He hasn't gotten his activities moving until this girl said she was running for governor, Nixon, and she said she was definitely for legalizing marijuana. So now all of a sudden he started changing as we get closer to this election. And one of the problems you have with the marijuana, and it's not only this state, it's every state, is you get people smoking and then they get arrested and then they get a record. It goes on their back. They get a record, and a lot of them are white, but more of them are black. And then that record stays with them forever on their back. And it hurts them getting jobs. It hurts in every way. Jobs, credit, everything, because they check background. They say, oh, you got this marijuana thing you pled guilty to. Yeah, in New York. Yeah, 5 years ago. So one thing that she's been moving on, and even the mayor of New York, de Blasio, says, let's get these records clean from these people that are smoking a cigarette. Let's take their records and clean the records so they could live like normal people. See, we don't want marijuana tying up their whole life, and that's what it's doing. Because I mean, that's what's happening. And I'll tell you another thing too. The police in this country, half of their time they're spending making these little arrests.
Why is the thing trying
for
get
marijuana?
Me?
Small arrests for marijuana. So we're paying our police. I'd say half the money we spend in New York City goes to police salaries and other places for cases that they make on 1 or 2 marijuana cigarettes. I mean, we would cut our police costs in half if we said having a marijuana cigarette, like in some of these other states, is not illegal, it's legal. And if it is illegal, the most that they could do would be write you a ticket like a parking ticket. But this right now, this marijuana, it's ruining people's lives all over our country. And we're just sitting here doing nothing. Some of these small towns, I guarantee you, and I'll go with you, let's go look at all their cases and all the arrests they made. And I guarantee you, half of them will be involving marijuana cigarettes. Might be younger people, older people, and then they take them to jail. And you know, if they go to big court in these places, I don't know what the judge will do. He could give them time. You know, their penalties are different and their charges different in each state. That's why they want to, the mayor in New York City wants to make this marijuana charge real simple, like a parking ticket, and throw all these other cases out. And he also wants to go in and let the people have their records corrected that have some of these charges on there from years back, and they can't get a good job, they can't get a good, they can't get credit, they can't get nothing,
Right.
for smoking a couple marijuana cigarettes. And I know you've probably been in places, you might have been to parties, you might have been in these different cities, and a lot of states have medical marijuana. You've probably seen people get something from their doctor where they could go get marijuana for their condition, and they sit there and they smoke it. I don't know if you smoked it or not, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, and right now it's costing us a lot of money. And frankly, I think this governor's race in New York, Cuomo knows he's in a little trouble now with this girl because of the marijuana. She's been pushing. Now all of a sudden, after 8 years, he's starting to move to the other side. You know, maybe we should do something with this marijuana, make the charges less, and things like this. But the key is we got to get our criminal justice system straightened out. And another thing, they did tests in New York, and they find out that a lot more black people are arrested for marijuana than white people. Now, why is that? They're both smoking the same cigarettes, so then they get charges on their record, and the whites don't. And they've been through some of that, and they tried to add up. They say that black people in New York are arrested at 8 times the rate of white people over the last 3 years. So I mean, we have to do something about this marijuana. We have to do it nationwide. And secondly, first of all, like I said, it'll cut down our police costs. I want to look at the cases in all these little states, counties, big states, whatever. And if you go down the list, you'll see half of them involve something with marijuana, something with marijuana. They were smoking a cigarette. But I mean, I don't see the difference in that in buying liquor, alcohol, and go out and drink the whole bottle and get drunk, which a lot of these people do. They do it nationwide. Wherever you live, you'll probably saw it at a party Saturday night. They had a big party. Sunday was Father's Day, and I guarantee you half the people you saw were either drunk or close to it. So what we have to do is we have to get all our people in the country, not only New York, but in the country, and we got to start working on this and pushing it and let these people get their records cleaned up. Thank you.
You're so